I got this torque box in, and it's fitting really well. Everything looks like it lined up. So I'm gonna go ahead and burn this in. I don't know if you can tell, but there's only one frame rail in the car. Show you that. Thought I'd show you guys. I'm a 1/4 of an inch off up here. I need to come out. That's already welded. I've got the bottom of this welded to the floor support. And I got one tack down here on the firewall, the right distance. But up here I was off. So I just used my porta power, pushed it out. What I'll do now is come in here and weld this. So I'll have this where it's supposed to be. Here's where I'm at right now. I have my torque boxes in. I have the radiator support welded. As you see, torque boxes. Got my gussets or my supports in. Put my brackets on top, make sure they were right. I still have a lot of grinding to do. You can see where I had to move this. It was here. You see the line, you can see a little rust. So I'm gonna have to put some of that rust converter on there real quick. But I still have to fix all this. But now it's straight, like it's supposed to be. But I'm working on the floors now. Or at least that's what I want to do. Start getting my toe boards in and patch my floors. And I need to get it off the lift, because these arms are in my way to get in there and weld it, put them where I want them. So what I did is I have a large engine dolly with great big cast iron wheels. I put right under the center of the car, and I took it off the lift. Right now it's actually on there, on that cradle. So I'm gonna swing these arms out of the way and roll this car out from the lift so I can start welding in those patches in the floor. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is I'm gonna swing these arms out and start rolling this out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna fill you in on my plan here. You can see I've cut this. This is my toe board that I needed to replace. It was rotted out. I cut my other one down. This is actually gonna be an overlap weld. I know some of you are gonna say that's not the right way to do it. That's the way I'm gonna do it. I cut my pan down. And it'll go in there like so. And then down here, there's another piece that's rotted. That'll be my main floor part. I'm just gonna overlap a piece, weld it, and then weld it over this one. The factory actually put the floor pan over the toe board area. So that's the way that's gonna go. That's my plan. I've got these all lined up with the frame rails, so that's cool. So that's my plan. I'm gonna weld this panel in first. Then I'm gonna come back, make a piece for here, and I'll go ahead and overlap and weld that in. And then I'll start taking care of the little floor issues here. I do see a couple spots I need to go back and fix, and some that needs to be re-welded. But first things first, get that floor put in. All right, I welded this floor in. I'm not real happy with it. I mean, it looks okay and just like a patch job. I don't like that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there. The other side, same thing. Looks a lot better than that other side, but still, it didn't come out like I had hoped. So I kind of stopped and decided to pull the cowl off my car. Now, if you remember, one of my other videos, I said I poured water down it and the water came out the sides. It didn't go in the car, and it didn't, which was amazing. But at this point, I didn't want to go ahead and leave it and then find out a year later it rotted and I had water in my car. And I had a hell of a time getting this off, so I just cut it off. I'm going to buy a new one. You know, obviously I have to now. But as you can see, it doesn't look like it was leaking at all. Pretty good. Wouldn't say it's solid, but wasn't leaking. Which, now I'm at a point of no return. I got to replace it now. But it didn't matter, because on this side, yeah, the water got around it and didn't come in the car, but it's pretty close. If it would have been a hell of a downpour or something, yeah, it would have got in the car. I mean, that's not a whole lot of leadway, so I'm glad I pulled it. I'm going to clean this mess up, and I have to get this lower cowl out of here and go from there. Here they are after I cleaned them up. Isn't that crazy? Wouldn't have been leaking, but it would have been close. The other side. Perfect. To all you guys that have ever done these lower and upper cowls, hey, I salute you guys. That's a pain. That is terrible. I really thought I could save my upper, and I just ordered a lower. Well, since I had to cut the upper out, I put my order in for that, so I'm going to wait for it. But I will keep my old one, because it's going to tell me exactly where those stripes go when I go to repaint it. But yeah, that lower, woo, what a bunch of holes. Can't believe they put that many welds in there. But guess you want strength. Here's my new one. It's just sitting in there, and I haven't done anything with it yet. I got to clean up all the flanges and stuff and get that ready. Then I might drill holes to weld this one in. So I'll show you guys what I do with my seam sealer. I got my seam sealer. I buy these brushes at Harbor Freight. They're cheap by the box. You can see what I do is I cut the end down for my seam sealer. And I'm going to put some seam sealer on that new part I just welded in. Okay, what I do is I just take my seam sealer and this little brush. This is brushable seam sealer. Just going to go around this hat, kind of seal this up. Probably overkill because I really doubt in my lifetime if this will rust again. But maybe I'm saving somebody a big headache way down the road, years from now, when I'm gone, and they may inherit it. They won't have to cut this all out of here. That's it. That's all I do. I'll do the other side now. I'm going to clean this cowl up now that I have it sealed, and I'm just going to put a layer of paint on that. I don't think I need to, but I will just as an extra precaution. Okay, I have that under or lower cowl painted. So now I'm test fitting the upper cowl, and it actually fits pretty decent. The holes almost line up perfectly. I say almost, not quite. And when I put this front on, I was using my old cowl for my measurements out to the front of my radiator support. So I knew the distance from these corners to there, and from here to there, and from there to here, diagonally. So now that I'm putting this one in, I'm just reversing it. I'm still using the same measurements, but now I'm using the radiator support to locate my cowl. So it's where it belongs. I got my tape measure out. It's perfect. Like I say, that's probably why the holes almost line up. They don't quite. I've already gone with a Sharpie and marked where I need to go ahead and make all these holes to weld this in. So right now I'm going to take this back off and start drilling hundreds of holes. Okay, I've got all my holes drilled or punched. And just so everyone knows, I had 102 holes. I'm sure some have more, some have less, depending on how many holes you want to put in there, but I have 102. So as a joke, I painted the underneath. What I put on there, Troy Hart was here, 2025. So anyone ever cuts this off again, they'll go, that damn Troy Hart screwed up everything. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this set. Like I say, I already know what my measurement's supposed to be. So that makes it a little bit easier. Go the other side. I'll make sure my measurements are correct. I still have to do diagonally, and I'll put some more clamps on this, and then I'll start burning it in. Okay, I thought I'd bring you guys up to speed. I have my cowl welded in. I have my fender extensions, or apron extensions, I'm not sure what you call them. They're in. The floors have been welded earlier. So this is all very structural now. Still have braces to put across here. But I'm at the point where I think this is ready to go in the rotisserie. I've already made some square tube brackets on all four corners of the car, and hopefully it'll fit on my rotisserie. My rotisserie I bought like 5 years ago, and I use it for my truck bed, and I use it to restore my Trans Am. I bought it at a swap meet, and the guy that was selling it had done 2 70s Novas, and I knew that my Trans Am being a subframe, so was the Nova, that it would probably work, and it did. It worked perfect. I didn't have to do any modifications for it to work. But let me go ahead and start moving this. Alright, that went really well. Now, I'm going to grab my handmade rotisserie and start hooking it up. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching it. Later.